Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tech Explained. I'm your host, Sid Pan, and let's tech news. So, welcome to a new series here on Tech Explained that I'm calling Tech Explained Tech News. And so, basically, the goal of this series is to bring you basically what's happening in the world at that time around technology, maybe sometimes not technology. It depends. But basically, news mostly about technology in, a short 20-30 minute video. And the whole point of this is that, a lot of people are really busy and maybe not right now because, of all the pandemic going around, but people are busy. And so what I thought is, hey, let's give everybody some news that they can listen to in 20-30 minutes and get a gist of what's going on in the world right now. On top of that, this is the first episode that is going on Spotify. Yes, that is correct. We are expanding from YouTube to Spotify. So go down in the link. Go down and check out the link in the description below, where I'll share the name of the podcast. Go on Spotify and follow. And yeah, let's get right in. So looking from the title of this video, you're probably why you clicked on it is that the Apple logo is a button. So first of all, I did not find this out. All credit goes to a user on Instagram called Tenil Eserpa. TenillEserpa. Go check her out on Instagram. She's the one who found this out. Well, I'm not sure if she found it out, but this is who I saw it from. I did not find this out myself. So basically, iOS 14 gave us a bunch of new features on an Apple device. It was a new software update. And apparently, if you go on iOS 14 on your Apple phone and you go into settings, accessibility, touch, back tap, and then you choose double tap or triple tap, and then you can basically macro that to do many things. Like you can do it to take a screenshot. You can, probably turn on Siri that way. You might be able, there's a lot of features there. So go check it out yourself. If you want to, if you forgot how to get it in, then just go back in the video and just hear how to get to it. So apparently the Apple logo is a button now, and you can hotwire and macro it to do a wide range of things. So go check it out. My statement on this was like, some of the best features on a phone, or technology in that case, is not the ones that are publicly stated or promoted. Like, nobody really knew that the Apple logo is a button, right? But now that the mass public knows, or maybe they will after watching this video or watching the video on Instagram, they're gonna have like a little life hack on their phone, and people are gonna feel special. And yeah, that's just really cool. Apple didn't really stress this. Nobody really knew about it, and I'm thinking that it's probably because of people with special needs or something like that. It slipped under the radar, but now a lot of people can use it, and it's, I don't know, maybe it'll be mass used. And the person in the Instagram video, she's actually doing this through a case. She has a case on her phone, and it's still working. So, obviously it might not work on like those big wallet phones or the phones that have a battery on the back or something like that. But if you have a thin enough case, maybe the Apple logo button will work through that as well. Staying on the topic of Apple. In my past videos, if you go and watch them, I suspected that the iPhone 12 mini was going to do great. Like, really, really good. It's everything that you want. It has a small form factor, small phone, and it has a huge screen to body ratio. It has the latest, Apple technology in there. It's going to do so well. It's actually not doing as well as me and a lot of other people thought. The iPhone 12 mini had so many people going off on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Everybody loved the iPhone 12 mini, and now when it dropped, the mass majority is not really buying it. Why? Well, it takes a little bit of a deep thought, and I don't blame myself for not foreseeing this, or I don't blame anyone else for not seeing this. But if you think about it, if you think about the Apple lineup for 2020, the phones that they released in 2020, okay, so you have the iPhone SE, and then of course the most notable of 2020, iPhone SE, and then the iPhone 12 lineup, right? So this is what maybe people are thinking. This is why the iPhone 12 mini is not doing as well. If people want a small form factor phone with a pretty powerful chip in it, and and they're kind of on a budget crunch and they want a cheap option which is small, and they're not going to go to the iPhone 12 mini, they're going to go to the iPhone SE because that one's much cheaper. It's like the budget Apple phone right now. It's a lot cheaper. It has that A13 Bionic chip in it. So, it's doing really good. The iPhone SE is doing really good. And then, if you're not really worried about money, and money's not a big factor for you, then you go for the iPhone 12 or the iPhone, or the other iPhone 12 models, the latest models, and it looks like a lot of people are going for the iPhone SE. Some people are going for the 10R. The iPhone 12 mini is just in a really weird spot right now, and I think a lot of us couldn't foresee this, but Apple being such a big company, I feel like they should have seen that, and they should have put some forethought into this. Like, okay, this is our lineup. Are we kind of doing ourselves over by putting the iPhone 12 mini? Is the iPhone 12 mini really going to do that? Because you see, if you want a small phone, you'll probably go for the iPhone SE because it is cheaper, and that's a fact. People like saving money where they can. So, right now, I don't know how Apple's gonna, to come back from this and, do what they can, but they probably are. They're probably gonna do something. But right now the iPhone 12 mini is in a really weird spot. Branching off from Apple to the Samsung verse, and I talk about this in my previous video of go check it out. I reviewed the Samsung S21, S21 Plus, and the S21 Ultra. And in that essay, and the video before that, my 2021 prediction video, I say that a lot of people are mocking Apple, and a lot of people are making fun of Apple for taking their power adapter out of the box. Correct? Samsung went on Twitter and social media, and they literally said, I don't know, I'm not quoting them, but they said something along the lines of, with our new phones, you get everything, and the power adapter is included. So, kind of like a poke at Apple, like, why take out the... So, same thing with the, audio jack, headphone jack, Apple took it out. A lot of other companies ridiculed them for that, but it ended up being that a lot of companies ended up doing the same thing, and that's what happened. The power adapter, you see Samsung with their new S21, S21 Plus, and S21 Ultra, they're all shipping without a power adapter as well. So this just it just proves over and over again that Apple does some bold moves and other people follow. And I'm not dissing any companies. It's very noticeable, and I think some of them are actually smart. They're checking how another company is doing before they go ahead and do it. So I think that's kind of smart. But there's just a little side note that Samsung's doing it too. Motorola. It was a big name back in the day. Big name. They were a big phone maker, huge, and now, they've dropped back. They're still there, but they've dropped back. Now, it made way for companies like Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, OnePlus, like all these phones, they've taken up the spot that Motorola has. But that doesn't mean that Motorola has given up. They are releasing 4 new phones: the Motorola One 5G Ace, the Moto G Stylus, the Moto G Power, and the Moto G Play. And with these phones, Motorola is really attacking the budget phone industry. They're really going at the budget phone industry. Now, I haven't seen how they look, so I can't give you a design input from that. But they are sure attacking the budget side of things. The Motorola 5G Ace is the cheapest 5G phone Motorola has. It's starting at $400 out of those 4. It's the cheapest 5G one it has. So I'm just gonna just give you guys a little bit of specs. Just give you a little peek at what the phones are. The Motorola One 5G Ace, could have named it better, is $400, has 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and is 5G compatible. The Moto G Stylus is $300. It's 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and has a stylus, of course, as the name suggests. The Moto G Power is $250, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, and then there's a cheaper version of the Moto G Power, which is $200, is 3 gigs RAM and 32 gigs storage. The Moto G Play. The Moto G Play is $170, 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage. Now, I don't know who they're targeting with that last phone. I mean, if you want to give a phone to like a 6 or 7-year-old, you're not sure how they're going to use it, and then you'll probably get the Moto G Play. But $170, that price is very alluring. You're really going to want that price. It's a good price. It's an attractive price. But then you look at the specs. You're getting 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. That's terrible. What in 2020, in 2021, what are you going to be able to do with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage? I don't know. But all 4 phones. Wait for it, guys. I know a lot of you are going to be excited about this. All 4 phones have headphone jacks. Yes, that is correct. All 4 phones have headphone jacks. So thank you, Motorola, for listening to everybody's pleas and wants. Thank you for listening. You gave us some budget phones, all with headphone jacks. I'm impressed. I really love that. Talking about big phone companies, not big. Well, okay, I don't know where I went with that thought. But Huawei. I used to pronounce it Huawei. And then I started watching Alu later and Unbox Therapy, and I was quite quickly corrected. Everybody calls it Huawei. And if you look at the word, it is pronounced Huawei. But the Huawei ban, which started a long time ago, it's still going. And now it has morphed into 5G bans. Countries like the UK and Sweden, they've banned the use of Huawei equipment in their 5G networks. If you're wondering who or what Huawei is and you live in the USA, I don't blame you. I didn't know who Huawei is. But that is because it's really hard to find a Huawei phone in the USA because they're banned here. You're not allowed to they're not allowed to legally sell you anything. And if you're buying it through importation or like the black market or something, then okay, questionable choices, but All right, but they're really hard to find directly from Huawei, or they're hard to find when Huawei is selling directly to you in the USA because they've been banned. UK carriers, so people with Huawei phones in the United Kingdoms, they will not be able to install Huawei 5G gear starting in September of 2021. So that's like the end of 2021. Still a few months in the future, not really a lot to worry about now, but is going on, is happening. Um, so if you haven't been keeping up on Huawei bans, and I'm pretty sure Xiaomi's been getting a lot of attention on that too, is there's a big deal with information and data they collect, and the Chinese government basically, a lot of countries and a lot of governments, they're afraid that Huawei, because Huawei is pretty tight with the Chinese government, so a lot of people, a lot of governments are afraid that the data that Huawei is collecting is being sold or being given to the Chinese government. So that's why a lot of companies are afraid. Not a lot of companies, a lot of governments are afraid, and they're starting to ban stuff. Um, And I think this is a big deal for Huawei because 5G, we're going into it. All flagships this year are gonna have 5G, and for them to be cut out from that, for them to have a lot of their 5G stuff just banned from a bunch of countries, like a lot of big developed industrial countries, that's gonna be a blow to Huawei. Their stocks are gonna go down. Obvious. Well, I don't know about their stocks, but it's gonna be hard coping with that because 5G is going there. Technology is going to 5G. That fast connectivity, those fast download speeds, and 5G, it's a good selling point. Like one of the selling points phones have is, oh, our phone's compatible with 5G. Oh, this tech has 5G. So you get it. So if of course they can say that, oh, our phones have 5G. Is it really gonna is it really gonna work in a lot of countries? No, it's not. And if they're trying to justify higher prices with 5G, um, that's gonna be a really bad move because obviously if you're justifying a high price because of 5G, but you can't really use 5G in some countries, then, they're gonna have to, like, in different countries, you're gonna have to have different prices. It's just a whole mess. Hopefully Huawei gets out of that because I really like the company. I really like their phones. But if, nobody really knows if they're selling data to the Chinese government. Um, and personally, I would really love them not to be because I want to see them I want to see them. I want to see their products that they put out every year because I like Huawei and big, um, they're a big phone company. They're one of the biggest sellers in the world. So I really hope that they do something or they somehow convince everybody that we're fine. We're not doing any deals with the government, with the Chinese government. We're fine. We're good, and hopefully they get back in the running. Samsung Galaxy S21. Now, I didn't really talk about this much in my S21 video, but you're losing some things from the previous generations in the new generation, the S21 series and lineup. And from last year, they got a $200 price cut this year. But what are you losing in that $200 price cut? Obviously, they're not just gonna take $200 off and then just you know just give you there's obviously some justification to those $200 off. And one of those things that I think that a lot of people are gonna be upset with, and not me personally, because I'm still young. I don't go out and shop. Like I don't really go out and shop often by myself. I don't know. So it's not really going to affect me, but I'm sure it's going to affect a lot of other people. The Samsung Galaxy S21 lineup loses MST payment. MST pay. Yes, it loses MST payment. And basically what MST does is it's a different version of contactless payments, and it basically is compatible with terminals that usually are not configured to NFC. So, like pretty like old terminals, old cash registers, like like you could still pay with your phone, and if I don't know, if you accidentally left your wallet at home, you would still be pretty confident that no matter where you're going, you're still going to be able to pay with your phone. So, you know, they lose that with you lose that with the S21 lineup. MST's gone. And I just really think it gave people a sense of security and confidence. Like, oh, okay, oh shoot, I left my wallet at home, but it's okay. I don't gotta worry much because I know that my MST payment, I know that my Galaxy S20 is gonna work. I'm still gonna be able to pay. Another thing is that the Ultra model gets S Pen compatibility, and this was usually exclusive to the Note lineup. And obviously it ties into the name. Notepad. You write on Notepad, so that was like the whole thing behind the name and why it's called the Note, because it has an S Pen. But the Ultra model gets S Pen compatibility, and I go deeper into my thoughts about it on my previous video. But what does this mean? Why does Samsung just out of the blue just give their Ultra model S Pen compatibility? If you ask me, I think that the Note series is eventually going to die out. I think that the Note series, maybe in 1 year's time, 2 years' time, is going to be no longer. I think these two lineups, the Galaxy lineup and the Note lineup, they're going to merge into either a new lineup, or simply the Note series is just going to dissolve into the Galaxy series. And who knows, maybe this year or next year all Galaxy models will get S Pen compatibility. Maybe it won't just be exclusive to the Ultra models. So, you know, some things I don't think I really covered in the Galaxy S in the S21 video I made last week. So I thought I'd just give a brush up on that. So I don't know. MST was it was a really prominent feature that Samsung had. Now they've lost it. Who knows how this is gonna go. Cyberpunk. The most anticipated games of this decade, Cyberpunk 2077, can be found cheaper than its usual price. Almost half the price. Now, Cyberpunk, it's like basically, in my opinion, is basically GTA set way in the future. And, it was a really, really anticipated game. It was in the works for, I think 10 years. So it was really anticipated. And apparently, you can get Cyberpunk for half the price. You can get Cyberpunk for around the $30 mark. These prices are fluctuating, and apparently from the article that I read, this only works for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. And I don't know if this is correct, but apparently with PCs, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I didn't really look into it much, but if you keep your eye open, if you have one of these devices, then maybe you can catch a really hot deal on Cyberpunk 2077. Now, a lot of us know what WhatsApp is. WhatsApp is a messaging application by Facebook. It's huge, absolutely ginormous. So many people use WhatsApp. Most prominently in India. In India, WhatsApp is like If you go on India and tell somebody about iMessage, they're not gonna know what you're talking about, because almost like basically everyone there uses WhatsApp. But apparently, WhatsApp changed their terms of service, and the new terms of service has some really sketchy, you know, terms. There's something about user data and how they're going to use user data, if they're going to sell it, and stuff like that. And so a lot of people, they were upset with that. They didn't like what the new terms of service said regarding their information and their data that Facebook or WhatsApp collects. So they didn't like that. And so they're all moving to, well, of course, there's other places where people are moving, but the majority of them are moving to Signal, and then to what is it, Telegram? What was it? I don't remember the company name, but Signal is the big one. A huge influx of WhatsApp users are switching to Signal. And, again, the reason behind it is about their data collection and privacy policy and their new terms of service, and it's being handled less carefully or something. And it's like so many people are switching to Signal. So many people. It's insane. Literally on Monday, I think last week, it it crashed. The servers crashed because so many people downloaded that app on that day. Like, so many people downloaded the app. So if you want some numbers, Signal has gained more than 25 million new users in just 72 hours. 72 hours. Are you That's what, 3 days? 72 24 times 3. Yeah, that's 3 days. 25 million new users in 3 days? Now, a large thing that a lot of the credit goes to Elon Musk, the guy behind Tesla and SpaceX. Now, you're probably thinking, what does Elon Musk have to do with this? Well, he tweeted simply. It was a 2-letter tweet. And all it said is, obviously, he probably didn't want to write more. He's a personality. There's going to be a lot of controversy around him if he said. But all he said was, use Signal. Use Signal. Simple, easy. And apparently this has been part of a drama that's been going on for a long time. There's been a lot of drama with Elon Musk and Facebook and WhatsApp, and he's not like the terms of service. He's not like that. And now he's kind of like, he's kind of laughing at them. He's like, hey, I can say this, and you can't do anything about it because you're losing. And 25 million new users. 25 million. According to WhatsApp's database, like how many people are using WhatsApp, 25 million is actually not that much. WhatsApp's like, oh, we lost 25 million. All right, kind of hurts, but it's fine. Not that big of a deal. We can get back. And but apparently they're not getting back. They've been just hustling, and they've just been putting out like a bunch of tweets, a bunch of announcements that, hey, our terms of service, blah blah blah, it's not how you think it is. We're not going to be advertising user data. We're not, we're safe. You can stay with us. And it's kind of as Lou later said, don't leave. It's kind of like a sad little, don't leave, please. Please don't leave. As in, please, we've been your loyal messaging companion for so long. Please don't leave. Please. But obviously, people are leaving, and I'm pretty sure it's Telegram. Let me look it up. It is Telegram. Telegram and Signal, they are exploding. And they're kind of high-fiving each other. They're kind of patting each other on the back like, hey, we're doing good. You know, we're exploding. We're doing incredible. You know, look at us. So they're kind of patting each other on the back. So yeah, if you don't like, what WhatsApp's doing, if you want to keep your data, data usage private, you're hearing it from me too. Switch to Signal or Telegram. It's just good. It's just ensuring that your data that Signal or Telegram collects is not going anywhere. You're still private. Your privacy is still your privacy. So yeah, use Signal or Telegram. That's where I'd like to leave it, guys. I really hope that you liked this new, setup. I'm not really reviewing anything, but right now it's downtime. There's not been like a lot of new phone releases or big phone releases or like big technology releases. So it was a little bit of downtime. I didn't really know what to do about it. I said, oh, let's do some news. It's just a little bit of news, and it can fit into the time restraints of your schedule. So yeah, hope you guys like this. If you did, leave a like, and I'll keep making more of these. And this is going to be the first um podcast is going on Spotify too. So go follow the podcast on Spotify. And this is Sid Pan signing out. Peace.